Boom.
Biddly, 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 but yes, yo. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Get that badger. In and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. Quick shit vid. The clock watchers are in, so we need to keep moving. Clout Chaser's back. The gift that keeps on giving. Twitter. We've got a couple of butt hurters. People that have been stung in either in a previous life or just they're still yet to grow up or are lying about their age on there in the bio. Got a guy called Liam who is unstoppable. So I retweeted something that I don't follow the guy, Corporate AK or something he's called, don't know who he is, don't care who he is. I thought it was funny. He tweeted me something, I thought it was funny. So I retweeted it. But Liam previously, about 2 hours prior to that, had quote tweeted me, which means you put the tweet up and then you post about what the person said, which is fine. He put it and I just ignored it. I just didn't care. He just put, this is how toxic the fan base is or something he put about me. And so I just left it at that. But because I'd retweeted this AK, I mean, in terms of how funny that statement was that the Corporate AK guy said, it's as funny as a group of words organised into somewhat of a sentence on Twitter can be. I'm not saying I wasn't rolling around on the floor laughing, but I just went retweet. You know, it doesn't mean all. And then Liam sort of hard quoting me in the meantime, so he clearly doesn't know me, which is totally fine. So I responded just something you know, really, really lame. I think I told him to blow me or something really, really daft. Anyway, so he started weighing in on me, wouldn't stop. But then the bomb lands, the kaboom moment, the kapow moment. So he told me that because of the retweet from Corporate AK, that's all he's ever needed to know about me, which is fine and also interesting. Then tweeted me again saying, "Don't you be retweeting it, you silly boy." Now, this is where it's blatant that he does not know, because I've never deleted any. You know, if you watch the channel, you're aware, which you won't watch the channel, which is fine. I don't want him to watch it. I couldn't give a shit. But the horror when he realised that I don't delete stuff. So, and the thing that frustrates me the most, always, and like it does on YouTube, when somebody abuses me and I can't respond, it's insane. It's like, why can't I respond to this abuse that I'm receiving? He'd realised that I'd not deleted the retweet because I couldn't care less whether this guy's whatever he is. So he then deleted his post so I couldn't retweet it. I couldn't tweet him back. So Liam, the little lizard, turns out is the one deleting tweets. Tremendous stuff. And then subsequently, because he'd not lost the argument, because he wasn't engaging in argument, because I literally don't want to talk to anybody that I don't know on Twitter. It's totally pointless. If I think you're a dick slap, you're a dick slap. So he subsequently called me a racist and said, because basically I'd made a couple of jokes about Schmidt being the best player in the world, which I know everybody that watches the channel is aware. You know, I'm just messing about. It's like, you know, I don't see the paradox. I don't see the craziness in between, like why it has to be on Byram. I think Schmidt should get a lot more minutes. I was making a joke on Twitter, you know, that the numbnuts obviously isn't sharp enough to understand. So he subsequently called me a racist and said that it was based on the fact that I don't like black people. He put a chart up of, this is how you judge footballers, and it was like white, okay, black, not okay. Which I can't remember what I put to him. I just put something like, enjoy Twitter, Liam. Like, fuck off out my feed. Mad stuff. Truly mad stuff. But it's what you're there for. It comes with territory, doesn't it? So I'm not moaning about it. You know, it's I just enjoyed the "don't you be retweeting it, you silly boy." This 22-year-old bloody punk. Fucking numbnuts. But anyway, quick shit vid. That's not what we're here for. You know what time it is. Badger's in. Let's get on with some stuff. Got this young kid from Spurs apparently on trial. He's 18 years old, so not the transfers that we're after necessarily. He's a centre-back though, but he's called Roman Egan Riley, which is apparently one for the future or whatever. Whether or not he ends up signing or not is totally irrelevant. It's not for this window, is it? It's not for even in the imminent future, you know, 18. I hope he's decent. Geldart's looking like he's on move, so he's been in London to sign for Hull, which is a bit of strikes me as a bit odd. I'm not ruling out the fact that the bloke's probably just lost, but you know, I don't know whether it's a loan or a permanent move. I would imagine it's a loan. Charlie Crew looks like he's out on loan by the looks of it too. He's off to some League Two side. I just, on a serious note, how often do you think these loans actually work? And I don't mean that I don't want to just throw that out there like a knobhead, but, is there any point in some of these loans sometimes? I don't mind it so much with Charlie Crew, but just make a bit of a decision on Geldart. We've loaned him out plenty. Just, I don't know. I don't mind the Charlie Crew one. He's a young man. Go and get some minutes, even if he's shit in League Two. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect him. It gets a bit of game time. He's not getting anywhere near it. But sometimes I just think maybe just keep him with first team squad. I don't want to go on about Foden or whatever, but and Cole Palmer and stuff. They sort of hung on. Just be within the first team. Are you actually going to get? And I know you need match experience and all that stuff, but are you actually getting better through training with? We have some proper decent players, don't we? And in this league, relatively elite players within the league we're in. So is that better for Charlie Crew just to be hanging around them all the time? Or is it better for him to go play some shit football in League Two? And I'm not being dismissive of the decision being made there. I'm just interested to see what you think. I personally think, as an 18-year-old, he's probably better. I disagree with the under-21s and stuff, you see. I don't disagree with it, but I feel as though it's a waste of time. I don't feel like they're progressing from that, really. I think if you're in an under-21 side, I'd be panicking. Well, I wouldn't be panicking because I'd be a right young buck and I'd be buzzing, be full of spunk, I'd be loving it. But I'd be panicking in a sense that, I'm going to get lost in this under-21s. If you're 21, 20... you should be playing, shouldn't you? It's like you're a man now. So, which is kind of the discussion we've had with Joseph, which I don't want to go back over the Joseph stuff because it's been said, it's been done. Is there any point in loaning Charlie Crew out? Is there any point in loaning Geldart out? I understand they probably get, with Geldart probably gets a wage reduction or something from the club. They'll probably pay a bit, will Hull or whatever, but he's not going to do all at Hull, is he? This shit. He's not going to pull any trees up. He's not going to come back having learned I don't know. He's played Premier League football, hasn't he, Geldart? Just make a decision on him. I know they probably just want him out the squad for the time being or whatever, but I don't know. That also probably means that Bamford's definitely not moving on, which all that talk were a load of woof anyway. Atlanta have apparently come in for Lather, however you call him, so that nonsense deal's now done. So Lath, Ice Lath, Costa Ice Lath on their behest. It was a free one because I got the app, get that app. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's worth getting. Loads of transfer talk about where we need filling. Went on Just Joe's show last night. It was a proper good panel, proper good chat we had. I do think we need a 10. I think we can get away with not having a 9. I think we can get away with not signing a keeper in this window. That doesn't mean I don't want to sign a 9 or sign a centre-back. I think we can get away with a centre-back. I don't think anybody we're going to sign is going to be better than Wobber. Wobber is the third centre-back at the club at the moment. If Struick or Rodon get injured, he comes in, if he's fit enough. If not, then it's Ampadu. We're not going to sign anybody better than that. So we're not going to sign anybody better than Wobber. So who's going to come in as the fourth? Unless you are getting a young lad, because obviously that DeBayo lad's not ready. So maybe you are getting a 23, 22-year-old lad that could do the fourth position and wants to sort of, it gets the opportunity to potentially be in the Premier League. But I think it's going to be a difficult position to fill in terms of unless you're getting like some sort of top-tier defender in. And we're not going to want to push. We're not pushing Struick, Strike and Rodon out of the squad, are we, at the moment? So whether or not Gilavogi can do a job there, I know he hasn't played a lot of minutes, and there's definitely, he has been a good player over years, but whether or not you want him playing centre-back or not, I'll leave it up to you. On centre-backs, though, there is some talk with a Plymouth Argyle gadger called Ballymumba, 23 years old. We apparently sent some scouts out to watch him in FA Cup game. They ended up beating Brentford 1-0. He's a full-back, so he might be, he might be decent. There's no reason why that won't potentially be a thing. Again, 23 years old. I think we'll be looking, if we're getting anybody in top tier, it will have to be a youngster. I just don't want a 17-year-old youngster. I actually think it's more of a risk to bring someone that sort of unknown, and then you end up putting him in centre-back when in a big game, or not even a big game, but like I've said 1,000 times, any of these games can end up being a big game that we sort of get stuck in. You think you've got you think you win a big game, you beat Sheffield 2-0 like we did really comfortably, and then you think, right, we're off on a run now, and then you come up stuck to some shits, don't you? So that's just how the league is. Villa have been signing some forwards, or a forward, this bloke called Doniel Malon. from Dortmund. So Dictionary Corner, I've no idea if that's how you say his name, but I've done the best of my ability. So, Buendia, you would imagine, is getting pushed further and further down the pecking order. Buendia would be a brilliant signing for us, won't it? If that, there's no doubt. I'd love some backup for Aronson. I think it'd help Aronson. I think it wouldn't help him because he'd probably get less minutes, but I think overall, pushing him a little bit would be good. I don't want to be over reliant on him as we go towards end of season. 10's the role that I'm worried about. I can't say I'm worried, to be fair. It's just when we played, Ramazani had a little go in there, Nonto had a go in there, Solomon had a go in there, and it done. It's very specialised in it, that position, that number 10. It's a very serious position, where a lot of people calling for we need something slightly different than Aronson. I think anybody that you get in the 10 role will be different from Aronson. I actually think he plays it quite uniquely. He really gets about, and I think he's good on the ball, and he's got a decent enough vision. He can pick a pass. He's got a fair few assists and stuff, chipped in with goals. But he's not necessarily... Ramazani looks incredible, doesn't he, when he turns on ball and stuff. It's frightening. You can imagine him actually, scaring defenders when he gets at them. I don't think Aronson has that. He's not, I don't think defenders are in fear of him. But with the wingers we've got, Aronson does a brilliant job. I just don't want to be over-reliant on him. And if we do get an injury in the 10 role, I'm worried about it. Peru needs to stay fit, but I just think if it's for 5 or 6 games, I think we can get away with it with Joseph. I think other people can fill in enough. That is not me saying I don't want to bring anybody in, because I do. I just think we can get away with it. Centre-back, I definitely think we can get away with even a couple of injuries in there. If Struijk and Rodon both got injured, it'd have to be Wobber and Ampadu, which, again, that sounds like a crisis, and it would be, in the grand scheme of things, a crisis. However, if we drag some random gadger in, is it going to be better than Ampadu and Wobber? I'm not so sure. So what we're saying, apologies for my racism. I never knew I was. You learn something new every day. Keep moving.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch. Hey!
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you, and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised. That's why I ask.